In today's video, we'll talk about 10 disturbing cases of child molesters who received life sentences for their crimes. Witness the moments when these criminals face the consequences of their actions. Our first stop is the Eaton County Courthouse in Charlotte, Michigan. This is where Larry Nassar, a former doctor, received a sentence for repeatedly sexually assaulting 265 young women and girls under the guise of medical treatment. Larry was sentenced to 40 to 175 years in prison, in addition to a separate 60-year sentence for child pornography. Basically, he will spend the rest of his life behind bars. Next up, we have the Bexar County Courthouse in San Antonio, Texas. Here, we witness the trial of Christopher Branham, a 23-year-old facing charges of sexually exposing himself and assaulting a young boy in a movie theater restroom. Christopher pleaded no contest to sexual assault charges. Under the plea agreement, he faced a maximum sentence of 35 years in prison. It's clear that Branham's actions are nothing short of abhorrent, and the court handed him a deserved sentence. In Broward County, Florida, a former South Florida swim instructor named Francisco de Aragon faced charges of molesting three 6-year-old girls. The victims courageously spoke in court, detailing their traumatic experiences. De Aragon, however, downplayed the accusations, claiming accidental contact during swimming lessons might have been misinterpreted. Despite his denial, the court found Francisco de Aragon guilty of sexual battery and lewd molestation. The judge handed him 4 life sentences, ensuring he would never harm another child. Now let's move on to the Stratford Superior Courthouse, where Christopher Elwell, a 29-year-old, faced sentencing for sexually assaulting a 4-year-old girl. Elwell's disturbing acts took place at a residence where he was staying, involving multiple young children. Christopher Elwell admitted his crimes and pleaded guilty. In addition to the sexual assault charges, he faced an additional charge of failing to register as a sex offender. The court handed down a sentence of 7 to 15 years in prison. Next, we have Tampa, Florida, where Lewis Matthews, a local resident, faced charges of sexual battery against a victim younger than 12 years old. Lewis appeared unremorseful even during his sentencing. The court delivered a just sentence, ensuring that Lewis Matthews would spend the rest of his life behind bars. The magnitude of his crimes against an innocent child warranted a life sentence, along with an additional 55 years. And now, we find ourselves at the Columbia County Court, where John Acklin, a 56-year-old, faced 16 counts of sexually assaulting 2 children. Throughout the trial, Acklin maintained a stoic expression, seemingly detached from the impact of his actions. Acklin received the harshest possible punishment for his crimes. The judge handed him a sentence of 335 years in state prison, ensuring he would never see freedom ever again. Let's now move on to Trumbull County, Ohio, where Michael Pete, a supervisor at a medical billing company, appeared for his trial. Michael faced charges including sexual imposition, kidnapping, and assault. The court delivered a resolute sentence, recognizing Michael as a predator. He received a 48-year prison term, ensuring he would spend a significant portion of his life behind bars. Our next stop is DeLand, Florida, where Edwin Wren, a 19-year-old, faced charges of raping a 9-year-old baby. Edwin's claim of hearing voices that urged him to commit the horrific act didn't help him get away with his guilt. The court wasted no time in delivering justice. Edwin Wren was sentenced to life in prison without parole. In Miami, Florida, the courtroom witnessed the resentencing of Ronnie Salazar, who had been convicted 10 years prior of sexual assault and first-degree murder of his 11-year-old sister. The judge acknowledged Salazar's troubled background and handed down a 40-year prison term to be reviewed after 25 years. Salazar's emotional breakdown upon hearing his sentence seemed to indicate some remorse for his horrific actions. Our final stop brings us to the Franklin County Courthouse, where Terry McFadden, a 70-year-old man, faced charges of sexually abusing 2 children at a daycare run by his wife. Terry McFadden was sentenced to 22 years in prison, acknowledging the severity of his crimes against vulnerable children. Although the sentence cannot erase the trauma experienced by the victims, it ensures that McFadden will spend a significant portion of his life paying for his reprehensible actions. These cases serve as a reminder of the darkness that exists within our society. Through the court's commitment to justice, these 10 child molesters have been held accountable for their crimes. So that concludes today's discussion. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed the content, then please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so yet. We'll see you next time, and until then, bye for now.